Ladies and gentlemen, we are live with another broadcast here in the Roofing on the Rise studios, where we are sponsored by Chad T. Wilson Law Firm. When you're dealing with an insurance company that's denying, delaying, and defending their position, don't hesitate to reach out. Chad T. Wilson works with first-party insurance companies. They sue them, and they will help you get what's right for your clients. And if it's for you, get it right for you. Telephone number to reach out to me is 210-919-8987. Again, 210-919-8987. We are also sponsored by Roofing Supply Incorporated here in the Houston marketplace, where you can get any roofing material pretty much from me. Again, that telephone number is 210-919-8987. And let's not forget West Group Public Adjusters. Again, when you deal with insurance companies that love to just deny claims, West Group Public Adjusters is there for you to help your clients take care of what is most important to them, and that would be their biggest asset. That is the roof. Telephone number again to reach out directly to me is 210-919-8987, and I'd love to get you in contact with any of these awesome sponsors. Today and every day, we have an amazing guest, but today we have an awesome guest, Dale Childress Jr. What's up, Dale? How are you doing?
What's happening, brother? How you been?
Man, I've been good. I'm in like this new realm, right? Like I feel like I'm coming out of my shell. I'm excited. It's awesome. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Expanding.
You're kind of coming out of a different kind of shell too.
Yeah. Well, I know we jump right into it whenever you and I get to talking. It doesn't take long for us to get fired up and get going. But I've got a lot of things going on, man. I've had a lot of major expansions in my company. I thought about 6 months ago, I was like, dude, this AI stuff is really getting hot. If I don't do something to get involved for the roofing industry, I'm going to get left behind. And I was like, right. I'm not going to be naive about this. So here's what I did. I didn't pick easy. And I know a lot of people, they picked easy. They pick the path of least resistance. And naturally, that's what we all do as humans. We gravitate towards the path of least resistance. We go for easy. But man, the gold is in going for the hard stuff. It's in using your creativity and being resourceful. And that's what I did. I went out and hired some really smart developers and created a team.
Okay, so all right. And what's this team do?
Dude, so I hired developers and I said, listen, I've got a huge database. I've got a ton of roofing contractors that are my clients that have been buying my training services over the years. I've got 7,000 roofing companies that I've trained over the last decade. And so I've got the base already. And I already have the audience. So wow. I've got the brand, I got the credibility, I got the company. Right. Now let's add a new service and make it a roofing AI system just for roofing companies. So that's what I did. I invested a ton of money in developers. I hired a full-time staff and we created a roofing AI system. And I shared with them, I said, listen, yes, I wrote out my vision of ways that we could help roofing companies with AI.
Okay.
I'm not a tech guy.
Give me one off the top of the
head. Follow up with every prospect that goes unclosed on each appointment.
Solid.
Salespeople never have to follow up again. Ever.
That was I feel like follow up is like this taboo thing, right? Because everybody wants to not say follow up, but they want to do it. But they can't.
Well, they want the result
necessarily. Right. They want the result, but they don't necessarily how to do it. And I'll be honest, I learned how to follow up a little bit better in one of your classes. Like,
oh, really?
Shit.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're like you teach a 5 points of contact, right? Or at least that's one of the classes that you did. It was part of it, right? And that I taught that to a lot of sales reps, throughout the years, because it's an invaluable resource to, start following up as soon as you're at the table. Like, you're telling them that you're going to follow up with them. You're like, all right, well, I'm going to send you a text message. Boom, text message sent. Okay, I'm going to make sure that you get, everything in an email like you had asked. Boom, everything in an email. There's two. You haven't even left the table. And a lot of people can't fathom but touching a client's file more than 5 times in a 24-hour or 48-hour period of time.
Just
And
chipping away, man. That's all you're doing. You just keep chipping away.
it's so obtainable if you have the right blueprint. So important. But anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
It's all good. I never in my lifetime ever thought that I would ever tell or teach a salesperson that they don't have to follow up anymore. But
now you do.
With AI, the AI literally does it exactly like a salesperson would do it. So now the salespeople can focus on selling and do all the fun stuff that they enjoy doing, and then save all the back end follow up. And again, that's just one of the multitude of things that we can do. And and here's the deal: the AI will follow up with them just exactly the same methods that a salesperson would, until that prospect is actually ready to do the deal. Then it'll go ahead and book the next appointment on that salesperson's calendar automatically. And then it'll tell the salesperson, hey, this person's ready now. I need you to go out there and close them. Their appointment's already set for 2:00 tomorrow.
What? Okay, but hold on. If it's set for 2:00 tomorrow, does it have access to their calendar live?
Of course. It's integrated with everything in the whole company.
Oh my gosh.
It integrates with their reviews, and it'll intercept any bad reviews.
Huh?
Dude, this is next level stuff.
Whoa.
It's stuff it's hard to wrap your head around. It'll intercept bad reviews. It'll post the good reviews on Google. All I need to know is where's the cutoff? Do you only want 4-star and above? Do you want 4.5 star and above? Where do you want it to be? What threshold do you only want 5-star reviews? I just need to know what threshold you want it set at.
Wow. Why? Okay.
That's the easy
AI's
stuff.
Coming out, and you're like, I need to get in the front of this. But
you got to get on the train, or you're going to get under the train. It's one of the other.
Okay. And so you're like, all right, so here's my vision. And you knew that, to be able to execute that vision, you needed help, right? So you hired the help that you needed to execute the vision. And then now you're in full execution for your clients. So instead of executing the AI, now the AI is executing for your clients. Now I got a question for you. Who's selling the AI? Is the AI selling the AI?
You're looking at him. I love it. I'm not taking myself out of that equation because I enjoy it. That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
I love B2B. I love helping roofing companies. Here's the thing, man. I've got so much insight because, again, I'm completely immersed in it. I have been for a decade now. I know what roofing companies want, and I know what they need. And a lot of these companies, I know what they need more than what they know they need.
You roof yourself, right?
I've roofed for other companies. I've sold roofs for other companies. I don't own a roofing company.
Okay, but same. You roof. So
I'm in the trenches. Yeah.
Right. And this is what I really like about you. So not only are you a resource to them and their sales team by means of education, but you also have a resource to help them grow their business and help their sales reps alleviate time management issues.
Yep.
That's absolutely killer. Was there like a period in time in which you were like, oh, I don't know if this is going to work?
Well, so of course, anything that's worth having is worth fighting for. So you gotta dig deep sometimes and think, what am I willing to sacrifice? How hard am I willing to push? And just like I taught myself how to swim when I was 10 years old. You know how I did it? I jumped in the deep end. That's how I taught myself how to swim. And that's how I've been in business. I don't have a plan B.
Tread water.
Having a plan B means you're giving yourself an out. Well, guess what? If you don't give yourself an out and you're all in, we have the potential already to accomplish whatever we want to accomplish.
Sounds
You
like
just
a
got to
tire
decide
shop.
on what you want and do it. And so
Sounds like
many
a
of us,
tire shop.
dude, so many of us are on the fence and we're like, well, if it doesn't work, I'll just do this. That's already a plan to fail. I'm all
I'm
in,
like,
baby. And
I'm
whatever
vibing.
I do, I'm all in. And that's why it works. That's why what I do works. Yeah, I've screwed up, but guess what? It's okay to screw up. The thing that what you got to monitor is you got to monitor progress.
Yeah.
And it's not, you don't arrive. You don't just arrive one day. You make these decisions along the way and you finally get to where the vision is. But by the time you get to where that vision was, you're already a different person and therefore you have a different vision. See, the person that it takes
That's
to
an
acquire
evolve.
your vision right now, you are not that person yet. Because
Right.
if you were that person, you'd already be there.
That's deep. That's deep. I believe wholeheartedly in that though, because constantly in life you change, and if you had thought about the change that you were looking to do, and it's just not like you just don't embody that change yet. Like you have to go through the change. It's a transformation.
Mhm.
So do you think that this new AI system has made you a stronger businessman?
Absolutely, it has. I can tell you right now, it has been a humongous learning curve. And in all honesty, I can say this 10,000% truthfully. If I'd have known what was involved in it, I probably would not have done it.
That's a lot.
It's
Wait,
that's why I'm not worried at all in the slightest about competition because I understand what's involved in it now.
who owns the
Like,
code?
if, dude, if somebody wants to do it, go for it. Good
I vibe it.
luck.
Do you
Go for it.
so do you have an opinion on the acquisition of Home Depot, the acquisition of the major distribution chain this last week?
Yeah, here's my opinion on it. Any attention that I give anybody other than my own stuff takes away from my own stuff. So
Damn.
that's my opinion on it.
That's
Because
fair.
I'm
Dale.
gonna keep doing me. I got 7,000 Ruby companies to help. Everybody's got opinions anyway, but my opinion is I'm gonna keep my attention on what I can change, and other people they can put their attention on everything else. Again, I don't care what happens as long as I just keep doing me. I got customers to help. Um, I go in every day in my office and I pick 3 people that I'm gonna help that day. And anything else, the world could be on fire, but I'm still gonna help those 3 people. And and again, if I take my attention off of what I'm doing and put it on to something else, a lot of people have great intentions, but they get distracted.
Right.
And dude, it's easy to get distracted in today's world. There's
Super.
so many distractions. So the key to winning, I feel like one of the major fundamentals of winning today is to not be distracted. We got to eliminate the distractions, man.
How do you okay, so this is something that's going on in my life right now that's really, really find it very important. So if you're watching right now and you're like, haven't seen as many posts from you, Marquise, I wonder why. And this is one of those. Distractions are super, super prevalent. And before I like go into what I've done in my life to change some of these things, I want to know a couple of things that you do to help manage distractions in your life.
So, um, It sounds too simple, man. You really want to know what I do?
Let's go.
I write out three people that I have to help today.
Yeah.
And nothing else happens until that.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else. I'm not leaving my seat. I'm not leaving my chair until those three things have happened. Now, if you want to get real with somebody, which by the way, authenticity is the single most impactful method to connect with somebody, is being authentic. So what I might do is I might call Marquise and say, look, all right, I need to get in touch with Marquise today. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to text him and tell him, hey man, I'm going to call you in about an hour after my next meeting. And then what I'm going to do, Marquise, I'm going to give you a heads up because I want you to know I'm going to call you in about an hour. Right. I'm just telling you this is how I do it every time. And then when I'm about ready to call you, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to take a 20-second video of myself sitting right here, right now. I'm going to say, hey, Marquise, I just got wrapped up with one of my calls. I got you next. I might even have a Post-it note here. I might have a Post-it note here with your name and number on it. Say, hey, Marquise, I got a note right here on my desk that says I need to call you today. So you're next. You're next on my list. I'm going to call you here after I take this one last call. I'm going to call you. I just want to let you know. And then I'm going to text him that video. And the video is going to start. Dude, the video is going to start with me holding this Post-it note with your name and phone number on it, smiling. It's going to look just like this on the video.
That's freaking good.
Look just like that. And then it's going to say, hey, man, I got a Post-it note right here that's telling me I need to call you today. I just want to give you a heads up. I'm going to call you in about 14 minutes. Make sure you answer when I call you. I got some good news for you. I'm going to do that every single time I need to call somebody.
Okay, so what about social media? How do you like scroll? Like what? How does your social media experience happen? Like,
so what do you mean? Like, give me an example.
Okay, so do you ever go through, say, certain notifications? Say you put out a post.
Yep.
The post is very intentional. I need to help. I want to help 3 contractors today with AI. Help improve your business. So that post goes wild, right? You got 50 comments. Well, then you got a post that went wild from a week ago. And then another one that went wild from like a story this morning, right? Maybe a reel that you posted. How do you stay centered and not end up scrolling reels for an hour or 2 hours?
It takes discipline. How do you
stay centered on those posts?
So here's what I do. First of all, man, you want me to tell you my secrets. If you get a message from me regarding a service that I offer, I'm really opening up to you right now, man. If you message me from something that I posted, the first thing I'm going to do is qualify you. And it's a copy and pasted message. It's an automatic message. And the message is framed in such a way that I understand who I'm dealing with. So the message says, hey, I appreciate you reaching out because I got to show gratitude. That's step one. That's a fundamental of creating affinity is we have to show gratitude. Affinity, the definition of affinity is a natural liking to someone. So if I want someone to naturally like me, I need to show them gratitude and appreciation on the front end. And that's the first thing I do. So I say, hey, I really appreciate you reaching out for more information about my roofing AI system. Because you got to realize when I respond to that, it may not be immediate. It might be an hour later and they done forgot that they messaged me.
Right.
So the reason I say I appreciate you reaching out for more information on my roofing AI system is to remind them why they reached out to begin with. You with me?
That's freaking solid.
Now, next, that's the very basic fundamental is show appreciation and remind them why they reached out. See, I don't say, hey, man, I'll get back with you soon. And they don't even know who I am.
Right.
Next is I qualify them by saying, how many roof salespeople do you have on your team? Now, what is that one question? What kind of information can I extract from that one question? How many roof salespeople do you have on your team? Well, it's going to tell me, first of all, how big their team is. It's going to tell me if they are in roofing. Yep. See, that's their opportunity to say, well, I'm an electrician. That's why I put that word in there. How many roof salespeople do you have on your team?
Yeah.
They might say, well, it's just me. I don't have anybody on my team. Or they might say, I'm not a roofer. I'm an electrician or a plumber. See, that one simple question gets me data. And it helps me qualify who I'm dealing with. And I say, perfect. I'll be happy to, this is a gold nugget anybody can use. It's right here. I'll be happy to give you some helpful information. I'll be happy to give you some helpful information. My cell is, and then I give them my cell number. And then the next line down, it's separate. It cannot blend in. I say, what's yours?
Ooh.
See, it's about give and take. I'm giving you my cell number. Therefore, I'm asking you for your cell number. That's how you get a cell number. You give your cell number first. You with me?
That's a lot of data.
So that's what's going on when you hear something from me. I'm very deliberate. I'm very methodical. I'm very intentional, but it sounds really friendly and just like a general conversation. Every single sentence that I send someone has a deliberate purpose. And it's because I've got to get to the point, man. I've got a business to run. I don't need my brain picked. There's so many people, they want to reach out and pick my brain. And it's like, dude, my brain's been picked enough already. Like, I'm here to help you. I know how to help you. Let's talk. Now let's talk for a second about maintaining control.
All right.
I taught on that this morning with one of my clients. Keys to acquire and maintain control. You want to hear about that? There's only 4 steps. There's only 4 things to do to acquire and maintain control. 4 steps.
All right.
Here we go. Number 1, stay in the present. You, the sales rep, must stay in the present. Now, here's an example of not staying in the present. You thinking about what you're going to say next. That's in the future.
Yep.
Everybody does that, right or wrong.
Yep. That's right. Listen to understand opposed to listen to speak. Yeah.
Active listening is a skill set. Active listening is a skill set.
That's freaking solid. What's number 2?
Number 2 is protect your environment. I'm not going to allow things around me that are not in alignment with where I'm headed, because that's what we call a distraction.
Whoa.
And it can be people, it can be places, it can be things.
Yep.
Protect your environment, dude. This is our life we're living right now. Protect your environment. If it's not in alignment with where you're going, it is holding you back. Number 3, be aware of your dominant thoughts. Because whatever you think of most is what is going to happen. Whether you want it or not, whatever you think of most is sure to happen, good or bad. Assess your thoughts, man. If you're constantly, I hope this helps somebody today. If you're constantly thinking about what you hope doesn't happen, that's going to happen because you're manifesting it with that dominant thought. What you got to do, somebody asked me one time, we were doing a Key West trip. Sometimes we do those corporate trips. And when I was doing an event in Key West, they said, well, I'll never forget this. How do you stop thinking about what you don't want? Because it can take over. You get obsessed with hoping what doesn't happen. So how do you stop that? It's simple. You place your attention on whatever the opposite of that is. And you place no attention on what you don't want. You don't fight against what you don't want. You just place no attention at all on it and you starve it out. Number
That's
3,
all.
again, be aware of your dominant thoughts. And then the last thing, this is a big one. This is how I win when I go on a sales appointment. Number 4 is keep others in the present.
Ooh. Ooh. That's solid.
Now
They
that
like
takes
to
skill, but dude, just like you, or I say you, I don't mean you specifically. Whoever's listening to this, you're hardly ever in the present. You're either thinking about something that happened yesterday or last night or this morning or last year or when you were a child. You're thinking about something that happened, or you're thinking about something that may happen in the future. Man, I hope I can close this next appointment I'm on. Dude, think about the present and keep them in the present, because I promise you the customer's doing the same thing. Their mind is on something. It's on, hey, what are we going to have for dinner when this guy leaves here? Well, their mind's on the future, or their mind is on, hey, maybe that roofer that was here yesterday, and they're thinking about that roofer that stopped by and knocked their door yesterday. Their mind is not in the present with you. So if you want to control that appointment, you got to get them in the present. Now, how in the world do I get a customer that I'm with, a prospect? How do I get them in the present moment? You just tell them where they are, man.
Yeah.
Here's where, look, you know you need a roof.
Yep.
Right now, this moment, you know you need a roof. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
I know you need a roof. Right now, this second, I know you need a roof. Number 3, somebody's got to do your roof.
Yeah.
And number 4, I want to do your roof. I want to do your roof right now, this second. Hey, why don't we at least just get the paperwork going right now while I'm here? So when I get back to the office, I can go ahead and start your file and get everything going for you.
So smooth. It's
See,
like
I got to bring them into the present.
Put them right here.
The way you go ahead. Go
ahead. Put
ahead.
them right there.
Yeah, you got to bring them in the present, man. And it's the easiest way to close somebody is you be in the present. And then once you understand you're in the present, you got to bring them into the present. That's where all the magic happens. It's not in the future. It's not in the past. The magic, man, the power, the control happens now in the present moment.
I think a part of us putting this away, right? So like you're at the table and you pull this out and you've lost, dude. And once
I agree with you.
client pulls theirs out,
They're
if
going to
it's
do the same
not to
thing.
give you their policy information or their insurance paperwork,
It's a great point.
you've lost it.
Yep.
And
I need their attention.
That's what, yeah. So that's what I was gonna tell you that I changed here recently, in that it's a constant battle for me to stay present. That's a big deal. So I have a problem with going home and picking up my phone and going through all my notifications from the day. And then, oh, let me boost this up a little bit and let me post this. And I got 4 kids, 3 of them that are at home and a wife that loves me. And I get these reports just like everyone else does from their phone that tells you how long you've spent on each app and how long you've been on your phone. And that's when it like slapped me in the face. Number 2, my daughter is getting older and my son is as well. And so they're asking these questions about life. And I'm like, oh, I need more time with you. How do I get more time? Well, I immediately looked inward and I was like, well, I'm on Facebook freaking 25 hours a day. So maybe pulling off of Facebook a little bit. And it's helped transform the family dynamic 100%. They see that I'm in tune with them. Well, then apply that into your business sector. See what happens. Sitting there playing with a cell phone, talking to a client. You find out real quick that client doesn't become a client anymore.
Well, they're going to do the same thing. They're just going to get on their phone.
Yeah. It's a natural reaction when someone pulls their phone out to like, okay, let me get a couple of, let me check this text real quick. And then next thing you know, you've lost, like you've completely lost, like you've got to bring them back when, 3 minutes ago, you were almost to close. But ting,
that falls in alignment with controlling your environment. You got to control your environment.
It does. It's absolutely crucial, I feel, to both actually to really any kind of relationship in your life. Like, unless you're sitting down in church, and whereas the pastor or whoever, priest or whatever, has control, has the room. Other than that, like, you pretty much have to control the room and control your environment.
Well, we can't partially control anything. We either have full control or no control at all. So you can't partially control a vehicle while you're going down the highway.
No.
So we have full control or no control.
Except for Tesla owners, I guess.
Another thing is, instead of saying, how can I earn your business? Or any type of a question like that, what I want you to do is flip it around and you control that question by saying, it's not even a question. It should be a statement. Here's how I can earn your business.
Mm.
Again, it's not how can I blank.
That's solid.
It's, hey, here's how I can blank. Hey, here's how I can get this handled for you.
That's so psychological. It's insane. Because you're flipping the script 100%. It's going from what can I do
to saying, here's what I'm going to
do. To say, here's what I'm going to do to get your business.
Yeah.
That's insane. But execution's important, right? So, all right. I know we talked about private equity already once. I'm going to jump into it again.
I think BlackRock's going to own everything. There's my answer.
Who?
BlackRock. They already do own everything. There's my answer.
All right.
They just, they don't want everybody knowing because they don't want everybody revolting out in the streets.
I think that, I don't think I know that, in the first wave of PE that hit, there were a lot of changes to the market. I think that there's a lot of changes that are to be out there. It's not yet. And I think your response was pretty spot on, right? Like, I'm going to focus on what I'm going to focus on, because if I don't, then I'm not focused on it. Contemplating what could or might happen is a big waste of time. So I vibe that. So screw talking about private equity. Let's go on to the next thing. You got a dog, right?
I do have a miniature schnauzer. His name's Freddie Mercury.
He is so cute, bro. He is so damn cute. And like, legitimately, the dog could pass off as you. Because he's got
he's
got the beard and everything, bro. He's so freaking cute.
Yeah, he's cool. He loves playing ball too.
How long have you had him?
He's 4 years old now. He'll be 4 in May.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you had him for a little bit.
Well, I had Izzy. I had her for almost 15 years, and she passed away a couple years ago, and that ripped my heart out.
I'm so sorry.
Dude, it's like losing a family member. I mean, they are a family member.
It was
terrible.
I was going to ask, but I didn't want to. Yeah, probably.
It was terrible, man. And every now and then, you know how you get pictures, reminders on your phone pop up?
Yeah.
So I get those reminders of her, and it brings a smile to my face because I'll never forget her. I mean, she's in my heart. But I don't understand it, man, that connection we have with our pets. It's like they're always there for us. They don't talk back. Like we have a bond with our pets. I think it's like a spiritual type bond. I don't know.
I agree. I agree. Why schnauzers? What's the connection to the
They got
schnauzer?
an attitude, man. I like them. He's still almost like a Democrat dog, though. He likes to he likes to lay around and wait on everything.
Oh my God.
I said it.
What?
Always got his hand out for something.
Dead.
You can
I am
cut that
dead.
out if you want. You can delete that part. I don't care.
I
Whatever.
don't care. That is so funny. Do you take him around?
Oh yeah, we dress him up, put Hawaiian shirts on him. Yeah,
That's freaking awesome.
yeah.
All right. So here's an important question.
All right.
Do you take time to date your spouse?
Yeah, man. We just went. Now, for us, a date might be going on a weekend road trip, or
Yep.
like I do try and mix it into where if I'm going out of town for a training event, then we'll do something special while we're on the road. So I do double
like that.
down. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if I'm on tour doing like I just got back from a major tour. I was on the road about almost 2 months. And so
Wow.
I'll go to one city, and then when I'm there, word will get out, and then I'll end up training 3 or 4 other companies while I'm there. And so instead of it being 1 or 2 days, it turns into 1 or 2 weeks.
You got the big old
And
fifth
so
wheel.
we got 2 RVs. We got a fifth wheel, and I bought a smaller one, like a 35 footer.
Oh,
that
really?
is easier to park. It's easier to get in and out of traffic and stuff like that. So the fifth wheel is more for like if I'm going to go somewhere and sit, like to work a storm.
Yeah.
Like a home base to work a storm.
Yeah.
And then the smaller RV is for like a road trip.
What made you pick the RV?
Because I like sleeping in my own bed, and I hate packing and sleeping in hotels. So there was a time when I first started my business that I was traveling so much that I was forgetting which hotel I was in. Like, I'd forget, because if you think about it, if you're in living in hotels,
Yeah.
in and out of hotels for months, they all blend in.
Right.
So you see a Hilton, well, okay, there's my hotel. Well, that was the last city I was in. Now I'm staying at a Marriott or whatever. Like, you literally forget which hotel you're in. Or what's worse is like you return your rental car to the wrong rental place because you can't even keep up with which rental car you rented from last. Like, that's the kind of stuff you run into.
Ooh.
Or I mean, it's just you don't. Sometimes
Those could be monumental problems if you're already like gone. God, bro.
That's a whole different reality that most people will never experience. When you're traveling that much and you're that wide open and fast paced and you're just going, you don't remember what airport you're in. You don't remember like it all blends together. And then you have somebody and they reach out to you and they're like, "Hey, I saw you in at the Atlanta event." And I'm thinking, I mean, I want to be friendly and respectful, but dude, I've seen thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what state I'm in right now. Like, it blends together. It does absolutely blend together. And it's been a wild ride, and I'm so grateful for all of it because it's all the experiences that I've had so far. So now
awesome.
when I do the RV, when I go on tour, I just map out which city I'm going to next. And I just make my rounds. But I'm pretty much dominating the southeastern United States. This last trip, I went all the way up to Tulsa, ended up in Oklahoma. But
in Oklahoma,
in
I
Oklahoma,
thought they knew
Tulsa,
everything up there.
Tulsa. I got a ton of clients up there, man.
Mom, if you're watching, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. My mom was born in Tulsa.
Dallas the 19th. I'll be in Dallas, what, about 2 weeks now?
Yeah, 2 weeks. I'm excited. I will see you there. I already asked off. It's going down. Bringing a buddy, maybe too. 3.
There you go. we're going to have a great day. We're going to
down.
cover 10 different roof sales courses that day. We're going to role play. It's not when you come to one of my workshops, it's not a seminar. I don't stand up there and talk the whole time. It's a workshop. Like we're doing some role play. We're doing some practice on each other. We're doing quizzes. So we're going through presentations together. So it's hands-on in my workshop. You're involved. You're interactive. It's not a seminar.
I haven't used one of these questions, so I felt
Ask me a question, man.
1 out of the 20 questions I should ask. That's why I don't have questions for you, because we can talk, we just talk so freely. So I'll ask one question. It says, what advice would you give to contractors looking to embrace AI technology in their businesses? One question.
Repeat that again. I want to make sure I clearly understand the question.
I threw the papers off.
Repeat that question again. I want to make sure I get the question right.
What advice would you give to contractors looking to foster AI in their roofing systems?
So first of all, that's a great question. Here's what I've learned already. Again, I'm not a tech guy. That's what's so ironic about this. I'm just smart enough to hire the right people. All right. But knowing what I know, first of all, AI is widely misunderstood by the vast majority of the roofing industry. They don't even know what AI is. Therefore, how can they know what it'll do? They don't know what it is. They have no idea. It'll do 5,000 actions per second. It's not automations. AI is not automations. It is intelligence. It learns what you do and then does it for you. When we install the AI system behind the scenes into everything you have in your company, it just sits there and watches everything. Then it begins mimicking everything that it's watched. It learns. It's a learning machine. It's not automations.
I think that's probably
AI is going to put automations in the Stone Ages.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most common misconceptions, is that AI is automations, and
it's not even close.
It's not. You can use it to automate.
Yeah.
But it's not automation in and of itself, because we've already had that. We've had that for freaking years.
Right. AI is intelligence. It thinks like a human. It watches what you do and then does it for you after it learns what you do. So my first question is, again, I gotta reel the customer in, or the prospect in, to their present.
Yeah.
So I say, hey, right now, this is my pitch when I'm talking about the AI to somebody. If a roofer reaches out to me and says, hey, tell me about your AI, I challenge you, somebody on this call listening, reach out to me and ask me about the AI. You'll hear me say these words. Enlighten me on what you're doing right now. What happens to that contact when a roof salesperson goes out there and doesn't close the deal? What happens next? And here's what they say without fail. They say, well, my sales guy just follows up with them 2 or 3 days later, or 2 or 3 weeks later. And then whenever the customer's ready, we'll go back out there. Dude, here's my next question. How many contacts do you have in your CRM right now that are not converted into customers? Ooh. And they say 2,000 or 10,000 or 7,000. And I say, all right, let's start with that.
Yeah.
How many do you want to talk to?
Millions on the streets right there.
How many contacts in your CRM that are not converted would you like for us to reach out with our AI system to warm back up and reset new appointments for you, for your sales guy to go out there and close? You want 1 a day? You want 10 a day? You want 100 a day? It'll do 5,000 per second. I just need to know what your thresholds are.
So what's the biggest question that you get from contractors about this roofing AI? Like, what's the biggest, after you tell them
they don't know enough to ask about it. It's too big. It's too big. They don't know enough to ask about it.
I guess that's fair.
If here's the best way I can put it in perspective for anybody. Imagine a dozen full-time people crammed into your computer, waiting to do anything that needs to be done 24/7. They never call out, they never screw up, and you don't have to pay any of them overtime.
That's AI.
That's what this AI system does.
It's absolutely
It's hard
insane.
to wrap your head around because you can't. No, none of us can compete against something that can do 5,000 things a second. And it's not 5,000 of the same thing per second. It can be 5,000 separate independent tasks per second.
Right.
So it's hard to wrap your head around.
Yeah, it is. It's beneficial though. Like I would urge to say that it's going to free up the time of the employees and the assets that you have so that you can utilize those in other areas, not necessarily replace everyone. Because there's that human condition. There's that human condition that's you'll never lose.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
So our slogan of Roof Pro AI is do more with what you have.
Right.
It's not
I'm almost 100%
anybody.
positive that because the last time we spoke at great length, we had a podcast. After the podcast, we spoke about the AI system briefly. You told me you were going to be releasing something pretty awesome. Didn't give me many details, but what you did give me was kind of that basis that it's not to replace people, it's to help optimize those people in place. So I felt like it was important to bring out there, because when you said what you just said, a lot of people could misinterpret that as, oh shit, he's going to get rid of like my salespeople or my office staff or what have you.
No,
and that's
not for that at all.
Just not what you're looking to do. Right.
It's to help you do more with what you have.
You do have those, like, it's freaking Skynet, guys, watch out. You got the contractors that are still like stuck in the Stone Age, manila folder files, and they will not get out of it. So, those guys are probably looking at us now like, yep, they're participating. They're facilitators of Skynet.
That's funny.
You gotta clear it up,
Just to be clear too, we're not white labeling anything. We're not bootstrapping anything. We built it out ourselves. It's our baby. It's custom for roofing companies. It's our deal.
So you own the source code?
Yes.
That's awesome. You have control of that source code?
Yes.
Here's why I ask. I'm not going to name any names, but there's someone that watches that made a system kind of like AI, but it was for voice to text. And that code was stolen from him. Code can be stolen. And once that code, actually, there's multiple people probably watching now that have had this happen to them. Right. So that's why I'm like, if you own the code, do you have control of it? Because that control is everything.
Yep, absolutely. And you know what? You're reminding me of so many things, man. Things that I should disclose. So here's a big one. I knew I had the foresight. Again, I'm a visionary. I knew that if this is going to work for roofers, if they're going to want to have anything to do with it at all, it's got to be full service. We service it all for the roofer. We don't train you on how to do anything because we don't need you to do anything. We need you to stay out of the way. We need you to sign up and pay your bill every month and stay out of the way so we can do everything for you. That's what we need.
I like that.
Yeah, it's full service. We assign a designated account manager.
There you go. There's the difference between AI and automation, because the AI is working and completing the tasks in which that needs to be taken care of. The only thing in which that may be changed is the task, or the magnitude of the task, or the frequency of that task, right? So that's really the only thing that should be coming in between them and the ultimate execution of said task. But automations, you have to consistently keep those up. Like the automation for this podcast goes to Facebook, and I have to consistently keep that automation up or I'll lose it.
Yeah.
You don't have that with AI unless you stop
Mm-mm.
paying your bill.
Yeah, and here's the thing, man. If they want to turn it off, it's no big deal. We just turn it all off, and when we turn it all off, we just disconnect everything for them, and everything goes back to the way it was before they used us. I don't want that to happen. That's not the ideal
Right.
situation, but sometimes things come up, so it's not going to interfere with their normal daily business. Again, it's full service. We do all the integrations. We do all the testing. We do all the workflows. We do everything. Now, one thing that is required is again, we assign a designated account manager to every single account. I meet with my team. They're my guys. They're my W-2 employees. They're not some team in India. They're my guys here locally. They all speak just like me and you. We're all normal guys here.
That's crucial too.
Yeah, I'm not farming anything out. They're my team.
Yeah.
And every morning we meet, and the topic of discussion is which accounts we're going to help with which features that day. That's the topic of discussion. And all day long they grind out and they make all those features happen for those account holders. And then the next day it's rinse and repeat. We do the exact same thing again every morning. And that's what we're doing. And we're not talking about it, we're doing it. And again, if somebody wants to give it a shot, dude, go for it. I promise you're going to spend more money than you thought. It's going to take you a lot longer than what you thought. It's going to be a lot harder than what you thought. I promise you. But I'm all right with it. I don't need every roofing company.
Right. Oh, I'll tell you right now, it's expensive. And it's hard. It's not an easy thing to go from alpha to beta and then to like 1.0 and then into 2.0. You got that right. It's not easy. My father's in the middle of developing an AI software. Everyone will see this software soon because I'm gonna help bring it to market completely different than what your AI does. It has some similar attributes, but it's completely different. Not going to talk about it because it's still in the middle.
I mean, it's such a big thing, man. We need to help people with it. If we got the capability to help people with it, let's do it.
It's so, yeah. And it's like, I guess for the majority of people that have an app on their phone, we take for granted that we just click that app and the app works. Where, there are like countless people that have to have, multiple cell phones and look at it at each cell phone, Android, Apple, Microsoft, make sure that they all are coinciding and that there's not any bugs. It's a pain in the butt if you have an app type AI or even just an app, just an app. It's difficult. So, for those that, and for you, Dale, my hat's off to you because you've created something that's much different. And not only did you create something that's different, you own it and it's here. It's not anywhere else. And I'm glad that you touched on that because, a lot of the times it's over in India. Like, I'm not going to lie. I do a little bit of web-based services and my stuff. All my guys are over in India. I'm going to have to work on getting my guys here. I like that.
Just pony up, big dog.
Said pony up, big dog. Shit. All right. What do you like to do for fun?
What do I like to do for fun? Man, I mean, I love my work, so I work for fun. I mean, I enjoy it. It just comes with the territory. Look,
what do you do? Okay, so you're on the road.
I've created a lifestyle that allows for me, and I'm not bragging, I'm just answering your question.
Yeah.
It allows for me to be agile and mobile. I created my lifestyle deliberately for that in such a way that if I want to go see the Grand Canyon, well, all I got to do is pick up the phone and look at the map and see which customers I can call between here and the Grand Canyon and do a few deals along the way. And so I incorporate work into doing whatever I want to do for fun. So it is mixed. I don't have a distinction between one or the other. I don't say, man, I need a vacation. I say, hey, who can I help while I'm out traveling? Like it's not a there's no separation there.
I like that. People wonder why I do. That's why we're so much alike. People wonder why I do some of the things that I do. And it's like, if you see me asking for someone to go golfing with, it's because I want to go golfing, but I want to make money doing it. And I want to make that person money doing it as well. So if I'm going to golf, I'm going to do it with someone I was just talking about that earlier. I was like, I haven't golfed at all this year. It's not that I haven't wanted to golf. I haven't had the business opportunity to do so. And so I just haven't done it. I don't take the time on Saturdays to go do it. Spending that time with my family or here in the studio.
As far as a daily,
yeah.
As far as like a daily, what do I do for fun?
Yeah.
Again, I'm sharing with you some behind the scenes details right now.
I like that.
I like to get up and look out the bedroom window and see the deer. Okay. That's like, I like having my morning coffee and then walking outside and barefoot and sitting in my lawn chair and grounding my feet to the ground for about 45 minutes. That reduces inflammation. It helps your body rejuvenate itself. It's a thing, man. It's for real a thing.
Right.
Everybody should ground. Everybody. Yeah. I enjoy. I've got a really, really, really long driveway.
Yeah.
Like really long.
Yeah.
And so I like to go for a walk with my wife to the mailbox and back.
All right.
That's just normal daily routine stuff though. But that's how I start my day. I look at the deer, I have my coffee, got a really awesome coffee machine. And then I ground. I do my morning incantation, which is I learned from Bob Proctor. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'll say that while I'm feeling the sun shining on me, while I'm grounding. I do all that's real stuff. It's not hype. It's legit behind the scenes.
That's what you
real
do.
Stuff that I do that I know contribute to the quality of life that I have. I know it for a fact. I wish everybody would do it. If you don't believe it works, then
do the grounding thing. Because I don't do that, but I like to get up and work out. It's like
30 minutes a day, man. Grounding.
I'm gonna start. Yeah. So who told me that recently? Like somebody.
I don't know, but it's real.
Yeah, I know it's real. I looked it up like directly.
Better, man.
I was like, dude, you're full of shit. And I took my phone out and I started reading. Right, because the phone is like non-fallacy anymore, right? Whatever. Anyway,
I Google it. Don't ever Google for health advice, though.
You take yourself to the fucking hospital so fast, bro. It's like I
got something.
I'm dying. I don't know what I got. Oh my gosh, Dale. I could sit here and talk to you all day. What's the biggest takeaways that you'd say from our conversation today for anyone watching?
Dude, we're on to some. The AI thing is something that it's bigger than the internet. It's we're on the very front end of it, and if you don't look, AI is not going to replace people. It's not going to replace your business. Roofing companies who use AI will replace your business.
Ooh, that's real.
There's your takeaway.
That's real right there. Ladies and gentlemen, Dale Childress Jr., the new roof AI tool is freaking awesome. If you have not reached out to him, take the time right now, click his name, click the stream. It's right there. Dale Childress Jr., and he'll reach out to you and help you with this AI system. We are sponsored by Roofing Supply Incorporated here in the Houston marketplace, where you can get your shingles directly from me. Telephone number is 210-919-8987. Let me clear that up. You can get just about any roofing materials from me here in Houston. I've shipped all over the place. Just give me a holler. Love to help you out. We're also sponsored by West Group Public Adjusters. Whenever the insurance companies and the carriers, they come out and they deny, they delay and defend their position, West Group's the first line of defense. Public adjuster can reach out to that insurance company and sometimes settle that thing without even having to really do much of anything. If you're looking for an awesome public adjuster or appraiser, please reach out to me. Telephone number is 210-919-8987. That leads me to Chad T. Wilson Law Firm, our largest sponsor. They sue insurance companies. So if you've got a problem that is past a public adjuster, know that that law firm will take that claim and they'll hit it right out of the park. Ladies and gentlemen, Chad T. Wilson works with first-party insurance companies on a hand-to-hand basis, and they got their name from one of the big insurance carriers out there. I'm not going to say the name, but you all know who it is. If you're looking for an awesome person to deal with your claim, Chad T. Wilson, that's the firm to deal. Telephone number is 210-919-8987. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been another awesome experience here on Roofing on the Rise. Dale, thank you so much for coming on. You guys have an amazing day.